Welcome to the channel. Let's get started. I'll select host and start a server. I'll go with Rosewood. Here's my regular loadout. And of course, Murphy Wild. These are the end times. There was no hope of survival. This is how you died. Okay, first things first, I'll grab some food. Then I'll turn the channel to Life and Living for some free XP. While watching, I'll chow down. I get a full level in cooking. Next, I'll loot the house. I find some clothing to rip up for bandages. I head outside and fight some zombies. Things get a little out of control, so I split. I head up the street towards the fire station as I plan to make this my base. Zombies are on me when I get inside, but I manage to grab a hammer and eventually take care of them. I see it's 12 noon, so I run to a television to catch some more Life and Living. This gives me a level in carpentry. I grab another bite to eat from the kitchen. Then I head back downstairs and find myself a crowbar. Time to clear the rest of the zombies. These ones I walk across the street to prevent a buildup of bodies around my base. After clearing the last zombie, I loot some medical supplies. I then head upstairs for more food and Life and Living, giving me a level in fishing. Next, I decide to go to the police station to grab some cigarettes. I find a duffel bag on the way in, and after grabbing some smokes from the desks, I make my way to loot some houses. It gets pretty dark out, so I head back to the base. Surviving the first day was a success. I hang some sheets and drop off loot. I head back outside to clear some more zombies, but this quickly gets out of hand, so I run them off in a field. I have a bite to eat and grab some 6 a.m. Life and Living. After getting another free level in cooking, I decide to start making my way to the bookstore. I decide to take a residential route so that I can loot my way there and back. After reaching the bookstore, I take some low-level books and start heading back to base. I eventually make it in time to a show on farming. Then I cook a stir-fry and begin reading a carpentry book. I then get bored with reading, so I head out to loot some more houses. These little garages normally have a window on one side of them, allowing you to get in. If you can't open the window, then you can smash it. Just make sure you have a melee weapon in your hands and you clear the glass before climbing through. Boxes of nails are always a good find. Inside the house, I find a fresh pot of stew to drink back. I collect these digital watches so that when I want to work on my electrical skill, I'll have something to take apart. I take these cardboard boxes to store items in. I then go back home and force myself to read the remainder of carpentry, plus cooking, foraging, farming, and fishing. After doing this, as well as catching a few more shows, my skills are beginning to look good. I decide to head out and loot a bunch of food from the corner store. While there, I find a How to Use Generators magazine. This will allow me to wire up and repair generators for when the power goes out. After dropping off my loot, I go back out and loot some houses. In a laundry room, I find a nice camo shirt, so I throw that on. Upstairs in the house, I find a baseball bat and some nice leather gloves. I then head downstairs, close the curtains, and watch the 6 p.m. show. I still need more books, so I decide to make my way to the school. Once I get to the school, though, there's lots of zombies to fight. And when I open the door to the school, an alarm sounds, so I get even more zombies. Once I do get into the school, it ends up being too dark, so I go stay at a nearby house for the night. In the morning, I catch some Life and Living for some cooking XP, then head back to the school. At the school, I end up finding some more of the books I need, and then I slowly make my way back home. For the rest of that day, and that night, and the next morning, I bounce back and forth from reading, Life and Living, and cooking. By noon, I take a break and dig some furrows. I'll plant seeds here later. Shortly after that, I travel back to the library to grab some more books. On the way home, I swing by Rosewood Medical for some bonus loot. Then I head back home and finish off the day with a sink bath. I knock out some more reading, and after the morning routine of Life and Living, I head outside and plant some cabbage in my previously made furrows. Today I'm going to a supermarket to stock up on some food. On my way there, I find a car that I have keys for, but unfortunately it's out of fuel. I loot a pile of food from the grocery store. On my way home, I find a large backpack, so I throw it on my back and carry the duffel bag. I decide to go fill a jerry can from the gas station, so I leave the duffel bag beside the car for now. After getting some fuel, I discover another car on my way home, so I take it instead. It's dark on my way home, so I leave the duffel bag for now. The next morning, I try out some foraging, but hear a helicopter, so I quickly run back inside. If you stay indoors during the helicopter event, it shouldn't be a problem at all. And this early in the game, you'll likely have reading to do anyhow. I decide to go cut a couple trees, but get scratched the very second I go close to a tree. The next day I go for a walk, and while searching around an SUV, I find a key for it. I decide to take it to the gas station and top it up on fuel. By the time I deal with all the zombies there, and loot some snacks, and get the SUV fueled, it's morning, so I catch some Life and Living for more cooking XP before heading back to the base. Once I get back, there's some zombies to deal with. Then I hang some more sheets on the windows. I get Foraging Volume 3 completed while doing some cooking. Then I finish putting away all my loot from the last haul. I'll store the gas cans in the fireman's pole cutout, and I'll make this my cigarette room. I finish off the day with killing zombies around the base. And with that, I'll end the episode, but please join me next time for the continuation of Murphy Wild and possibly even find out how he meets his demise. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions on where you'd like to see Murphy Wild travel to, just leave them in the comments below. See you next time.